John 3:17 says this, "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world through him." See, God sent his Son into the world for you, not to condemn you, but to love you. God saw that there was this giant chasm or gap between himself and his creation, and he wanted to close that gap. He knew that darkness in this world wasn't just created, but it came forth from within you and me, and that is called sin. He knew that every one of us were sinners, and we were in need of someone to pay the price for all that sin. And so many times we have the wrong view of God. We think that he's just looking at us in our darkness and our sin, just waiting for us to mess up, when in fact, the opposite is true. Scripture just told us he came not to condemn you. He didn't come to condemn me, but he came because his greatest gift was love for you and me. So by faith, he asks us to believe that as we believe in him, he then asks us to trust in him. Romans 8 says that when you put your faith in God, that he's got a purpose for your life and for mine, and he is working through all areas of our lives, in every circumstance. It says it this way, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." God works to the good. That didn't say all things are good. We know that. That's not true. We saw that in our story today. No, God is working in the good. He is working in the bad and in the ugly. And he's working not just with you in mind, but with those for generations to come. Can you imagine Mary and Joseph really had any idea what their hardship was giving birth to? They didn't. And the same is true for you today. Your pain, I promise you, it has a purpose. And with God, you have something and someone that will help you walk through that pain and bring about good in the midst of your darkest hours. That is the promise of Jesus. And he says, "I will never leave you, nor will I forsake you. I am with you and I am for you." He says our whole life is a life that is to be lived out by faith. So it requires trust, it requires faith, and then it requires hope.